I have a look going on today that I'm not apologizing for, because I got nothing to apologize for. I'm just trying to film this video before I go to the gym. Let me start this video by saying I am not a doctor. I'm also not a registered dietitian. If you are going to start an exercise program or a weight loss program, you should talk to your doctor first, because they know your specific medical history. So do that. Now, I'm having a really hard time starting this video because I wanted to talk about counting calories, because weight loss starts in the kitchen, happens in the kitchen, and you can't outrun a bad diet. And that's true. But counting calories is such a it's such a topic because it's work. And it can get very cumbersome. So I want to get some of the numbers out there, because personally, like, I love the numbers of it. It's like, to me, it's just like this numbers game, and I have fun with it, and it interests me. So here's some of, like, the numbers part of it. A pound of fat, 3,500 calories. Like, that's how much it equates to. So in order to lose a pound a week, you have to eat 3,500 calories less than what you burn. And you're never going to have exact numbers for anything, because, like, in order to get exact numbers, you have to be, like, in a serious lab. So a lot of this is getting as close as you can to accurate numbers. So keep that in mind. Like, if you can't be 100% perfect, don't stress out about it. Okay? We're looking for, like, the best you can do. On that note, something that really helps me is having a scale, a kitchen scale. And I know a lot of people think that's not something I want to invest in. That's not something that I like is no. And I get you. Use cups. Like, use cups and tablespoons. If that is what works for you, use it. It's going to be less accurate because of the nature of measuring cups and measuring spoons. So that's something to, like, tuck in the back of your mind and know that it's going to be less accurate. So if you're not seeing a movement on the scale, but you're doing everything correctly, then it might be worth it to invest in a scale. Another reason a scale kind of becomes important is packaged products. And I'm going to give you a great example, and it's one that I end up using for my breakfast a lot. So I'm not sponsored. This is literally my second video. So please know I'm not sponsored, but also know that I really love English muffins. Okay, so English muffins. They are, if you look at the back, it says right here, one serving is 61 grams. Okay? So what they're saying is that a serving of English muffin is 61 grams. And if I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you right now. You ready? If I can show you. Oh, son. Okay. So it looks like I can't show you exactly, but we're going to work on it. So theoretically, this English muffin should be 61 grams, right? But if I put it on, okay, so we just happen to get lucky that it's 61 grams. That doesn't always happen. So, let's see. that one just happened to be, oh my gosh, of course. They're all going to come up at 61 grams. But, regardless, packaged products don't always, you're not always going to get that lucky. Like what the packaged product is saying is that a serving is 61 grams, and that in this case, each English muffin should be at least 61 grams. So you might eat an English muffin thinking, oh, it's 61 grams, when really it's 65 grams. Which doesn't seem like a big difference. But if you're eating a lot of packaged items and they're all over by a little bit, that means you're eating more calories than you thought. So it can end up screwing you up in that way. The other thing that works for me to think about is packaging. What you put your own food into can affect, like, you can play games with yourself. For example, so I have this cup of beans, right? And I have this container of beans. Okay? They seem like different amounts, same exact amounts. Weighted out and everything, both 75 grams of beans. But it looks like different amounts. So what you put your packaging in, what packaging you put your food in can affect, like, oh, I have this full container of beans, or I have, like, some beans. Okay? So, just to extra illustrate it, I've got 2 regular bowls that, like, I use at home. Okay? So I'll pour all of my beans in there. And come here. So if we look in my bowl of beans, I have an alright amount of beans. Right? But if I then transfer those beans into my smaller bowl, holy crap! That's so many beans! It's really not. It's like, alright, so it's this amount of beans. But it's not a different amount, is the thing. Oh, jeez, look at my lighting. Sorry. No, not apologizing. Deal with it. That's the lighting you get right now. Anyway, so it's things like that, where sort of tricking yourself, putting your things into a smaller bowl or on a smaller plate so you feel fuller with the same amount of food because of, like, you're tricking your brain. The other thing that works for me is, if you know me, you know I constantly have something to drink. Like, stay hydrated. Here's the other thing. It doesn't always work. It doesn't always. There are some days where I'll eat my calories to be at a deficit and I'll still be hungry. I'll just have a hungry day. So in that moment, there's the decision of, do I either be hungry? Do I eat at maintenance and just take an even day? Or do I overeat? And sometimes you just have to take those days. Sometimes you do. And I guess, like, the thing with this video is just, it's perspective. You're not a bad person. Like, you're not a bad person for taking an even day, or having one day where you ate more than you should. Like, you're not a bad person. You just did something that doesn't line up with your goals. Here's the other thing to think about, is that food isn't good or bad. There are certain foods or certain quantities of food that get you to your goal faster, but it doesn't make it good or bad. It just Food just exists. It doesn't, there's no morality with it. It just exists. Any type of morality associated with food is put there by us because of things we hear from outside people or our own emotions surrounding food. But food is fuel. That's it. What else? So, okay, so that's kind of the big, like, don't let your food be more than what it is. So, as far as actual numbers, there are general, I hate to say there are general guidelines, but you don't want to lose weight too quickly. And from what I've seen, again, take this with a grain of salt, because I'm not a doctor or registered dietitian, but from everything that I have seen, usually it's put out there that women shouldn't eat less than 1,200 calories and men shouldn't eat less than 1,500 calories. Which both of those numbers are actually really low. And you don't have to go that low to lose weight or to be healthy. Like I said, all it is eating fewer calories than you burn. Another awesome tool that'll help you figure out like how much you burn and how much you should be eating is an app called MyFitnessPal. I really like it. You can put in all your stats, your gender, height, current weight, how fast you want to lose, and it'll help you figure out all of your numbers. And then it's just about picking how fast you want to lose. And it's kind of a personal thing. And I know for me, sometimes I think, oh, I want to lose real fast. I'm going to set it the fastest. Which, by the way, again, usually best practice, from what I've seen, is to not lose more than 1% of your current body fat or body weight. So like for me, I shouldn't lose more than 2 pounds per week because that's at about 1%. If you weigh 150 pounds, you shouldn't lose more than 1.5 pounds a week. The other part to think about is that when because you're creating a lifestyle. The thing is, you shouldn't have the mentality of like, oh, I'm going to diet for 6 months and then I'm going to be done dieting and everything's going to be perfect and I can go back to the way I was eating. Because realistically, if you go back to the way you were eating, you're just going to gain the weight again. Because the way you were eating didn't lead to you being at a healthy weight. It led to you being at a weight that you didn't want for yourself. So it really should be about eating in a way that is sustainable for the rest of your life, which can be a scary concept, but it's about overcoming that fear of this is the rest of my life and thinking about, okay, well, I want to be healthy for the rest of my life. How can I make that happen? And if it's about losing the weight super slowly because you just want to create a small deficit so you can eat like normal, do it. Do it. And sometimes that's what works for me is, okay, I'm only going to create, 300 calorie deficit right now because that's all I can mentally handle. Or sometimes I can lose a little bit more because I'm having a couple days where I'm not really that hungry. So I can have a little bit more of a deficit. But it's also about incorporating foods that get you to your goal. So maybe that looks like, well, I love vegetables, so I'm going to focus on eating a more vegetarian diet. Or I love meat. I love meat, so I'm still going to fit steaks in, and I'm still going to fit some chicken, whatever. Still going to fit it in. Or maybe to you it looks like, well, I eat out a lot. So I'm still going to continue to eat out once a week, fit it in my calories, and then start cooking at home more. All of that is really, like, it's personal. It's up to you. And there kind of isn't a wrong way. If you're eating any healthier, that's a step in the right direction. So I hate to say there's like a right and wrong way to do it, because there kind of isn't. Like, whatever healthier is for you, work towards that. Alright, so I know that this has been like not the most interesting video, but I feel like now that sort of basic stuff, I don't know, I just feel like this was a video I needed to sort of get out of the way. And I could go more into depth about like numbers and how to fit in certain things, and I could do all that, but I also want to move on to other topics. So maybe in the future I will, like, if y'all want more information on calorie counting and stuff, I can do that. But let me know. Feel free to put something in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. Also, if any of this resonated, feel free to give me a thumbs up. And if you think that maybe you like what I have to say going forward, remember to subscribe. Okay, bye!